Hello and welcome to your innovative show, Market Innoventors, where we sit down with entrepreneurs, innovators, business leaders, and visionaries who are transforming business and industries, creating solutions that improve lives. I am your host, Iremofe Koforola. Today we are joined by an entrepreneur who is changing the way Nigerians purchase, process, and consume fresh meat. In a country where concerns about food safety, hygiene, quality, and convenience continue to influence consumer choice, our guest has built a business that combines innovation, technology, and customer trust to modernize one of Nigeria's oldest food markets. He is the group managing director of Agbeke Foodstock Limited, the company behind the consumer brand Agbeke The Meat Seller. Alongside his wife and co-founder, Mrs. Adeola Aminat Ayeni, he has transformed a digital-driven meat selling business into a structured meat processing, packaging, and distribution company, serving households, restaurants, food vendors, and institutions across Lagos State. His business philosophy is built on solving everyday consumer challenges through quality, transparency, convenience, fair pricing, and dependable service. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Babashola Timothy Ayeni. Welcome to Market Innoventors.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Reading through your profile, I see that it's something that is very interesting, and considering the fact that you are a very sensitive sector, whereby when we talk about food, people are always careful.
Yeah.
For someone like me, I'm mostly concerned about the hygiene, because it's whatever goes into the body.
Definitely.
And all that. So we would want to know how the entrepreneurial spirit, let me say that way, how it all began and all that. So what inspired you to establish Agbeke Foodstock Limited?
Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Koforola. We started like going to 4 years now.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I've spent maybe around early 2013-14, I was outside the country, and I saw the way things are done there. You know, everything is regularized, regulated. They have bodies that take care of everything, especially the meat and the food business. So, you know, we've always been used to growing up. Our parents, they go to the market, they haggle price, you know, they just buy meat. They don't even know the quality of the meat they are buying. And if they're not going to the market, we see our traditional, our Baba, Shukura, yeah, Shukura, you know, they bring it to the street and you see our parents, they buy from them directly. But, you know, getting exposed to another level of how this meat business is done outside the country, everything is scaled. You know, you don't need to haggle price. Everything is structured. You know, coming back into the country, I started my business. I was into consultancy. I was doing social media training and all for people. And along the line, you know, I got married, and I didn't want my wife to be 9 to 5. I don't want her to work for someone, because I'm of this philosophy that we should start something early so that we can grow our business, have a family business, and we can have this legacy, you know, that our children can even continue with. So my wife tried thrift. It didn't work out. So a sister of mine came up with the idea, like, your wife loves to cook. She's always in the kitchen, and there's this business. You guys can go into it. You can go for the training. I was like, okay, what's the business about? So I looked into it. I'm a good researcher. I looked into it. I saw the pain points and all. So I was like, okay, if we're going into the meat business, my wife, I'm a social media guru. Let's know about the business. Let's do the training. Then I will bring my expertise with the new knowledge. Then we can see how far we can go. You know. So we did the training, we paid, did the training, and from there we started creating our structures. But the thing behind Agbeke the Meat Seller, is that we want to provide our communities daily fresh meat. And we don't just want to sell to them. We want to sell at a price below the abattoir price and also offering quality. And it took us a while to get it right. But at the moment, in Lagos State, if you're counting 1 to 5, you have to mention Agbeke The Meat Seller.
Wow, impressive. Impressive. That's quite beautiful.
Yeah,
wow.
You have to mention us.
From your journey, from the explanation and experience you said, you made mention the fact that you traveled out there and you saw the structure in place. And we grew up to know about the traditional and informal way of the way meat had been sold and all of those things. So I know you mentioned structure, you mentioned the way things are done there, but what actually were the gaps that you actually saw that prompted you to feel like, okay, I want to be trained, I even know how this business can actually thrive, and let me venture into it? What were the gaps you saw between the informal way of selling meat and the structured way?
I would start with telling you a story. Someone came to our store one day and saw the way my wife and myself was communicating, and the woman said if they would tell her that in her lifetime she would see graduates, people so knowledgeable selling meat, that they say it's not possible.
Wow.
So trust. That's the number one thing. And with the advent of internet, social media, we have access to real-time information. And now we are more focused on wellness. We looking into our health, and the first thing they will tell you, either nutritionist, your doctor, the first thing they will tell you is what you eat. That is where it starts from.
Yes.
And please tell me how many food we can prepare in this our Nigeria that if meat is not there, that you call balance meat.
Absolutely, you need meat.
You understand? So from majority of our livestock is coming from the north. If you last year abattoir was closed, was shut down by the Ministry of Environment. And one of the reasons is the way things are done there. But inside abattoir, most people don't know. But now, as a meat seller, once you buy your meat from the car, you take it to all this mechanized abattoir.
Okay.
We have veterinary doctors there.
Oh, wow.
They will first check the meat, the cow, the bull, and let me say, we only deal with male livestock, because that's the type of livestock that will give you the best quality.
Okay.
So if you want good meat, always ask that you buy male livestock. Either ram, goat, or cow. You understand? So they will check it. They would give you a kind of certification that the meat is good for consumption.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most people don't know this.
Interesting to know.
Yeah, most people don't know this.
Viewers are getting to know.
Most people don't know this. So anytime you see our product coming out, especially the cow meat, it has gone through certification. Now after that, the process, we have good butchers. They slaughter the cow in the Allah way. There's what they call Allah standard. You can't just process meat and you can't just kill a livestock anyhow. It has to be done in the Allah way. And after the slaughter in the Allah way, they drain the blood. There is this machine that they will hang the cow.
Okay.
They will press. It will take the cow up. The blood will be drained before they even open. So these are safety measures. After that, they remove the offals. There's a department that processes the offals.
Wow.
The cow head, the leg, there's another department that processes that. And we do boneless. So all these things, it takes a process, but most people don't know. But people that really, really take their time to know, you will see they will not go outside to buy meat in the market. Because our normal market, when you go, you don't know where the livestock is slaughtered. You just go, you buy. And we will do daily fresh. So anytime you see Agbeke The Meat Seller, you will see we're always saying daily fresh, always fresh. And that's why we don't
daily
just
fresh,
always fresh.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We don't just say, okay, today we are killing 2 cows. No, we take in orders, so we know what we are processing the next day.
Okay.
I will tell you, once it's 10 o'clock, that's our cutoff time. We stop taking in orders once it's 10 o'clock. Even if you go on our website, once it's 9, you have to wait till the next day. So these are the safety measures. These are the structures that guarantee safety. It guarantees trust. So when you're buying, you're getting your fresh meat. You're not just getting anyhow meat. You are getting a meat from a very matured male bull or cow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it is both to say that you observe the gaps when it comes to trust and safety.
There's trust issue.
The trust issue and safety. Wow, beautiful. We live in a world whereby technology is very important. And you said, when it comes to technology, you are inclined, about all those things. So your business is built around this, and it's a fast-paced world and all that. So how have you been able to use this approach when it comes to technology to expand your business, your scale operations, and also improve customer experience? Because you mentioned websites that people order. So how have you been able to use technology for all these things?
Well, I would say from the one, like I said earlier, I'm a social media strategist, and social media is technology. What you can do, what in the days of brick and walls, where you just have your store and you're praying to God to bring in sales. Technology now, I can put my product here. I can put, for example, 5 kilograms of cow meat, 2 kilograms of goat meat, 2 kilograms of ram meat, and I will say, okay, I'll call one of my social media guys. Let's do a video. Hello guys, you know how much 5 kg is, you know how much 2 kg is, you know how much 1 kg of ram meat is. Now I'm giving you a discount. A 30 seconds video. I'll post it to our Instagram, to our TikTok, to our Facebook, and to our X. Then I'll just pick my laptop. I would look for my target audience. I would just do a boost post, or I run an ad on it on Facebook. And before you know, let's say within 24 hours, I can get like 500 people that want that product.
Wow.
That's technology. That's innovation.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and if I'm right, I think over 70% of our customers are online. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So I'm going to take it from there, where you said over 70% of your customers are online. And we know that we still live in a space whereby we still have the traditional abattoirs, we have the informal in quotes, meat sellers and all that, of which you mentioned them earlier on. So in this industry, they still dominate this industry. If you look at it, you see the regular people who sell on the road, people call them to buy. I'm not saying the structured one is not in place. So how do you see them? Do you see them as competitors, partners, or part of the value that can be used to improve and create a structure around the meat industry?
Yeah, the traditional meat sellers are not my competitors. Yeah, they are the founders, they are the trailblazers. I don't know. Pardon me to speak Yoruba. they say in my language, I'm a Yoruba man from Ijesha, Ilesha, they say, oh, to bag Orison, Agbe. It means a river that forgets its source.
Runs dry.
Runs dry. They started it, and they kept it going. But like with the emergence of technology, social media, and all, people are evolving.
Yeah.
And things we don't put priority on in the past, we're now placing priority on them. And that's why you start seeing these stores coming up. While I was growing up, I grew up in Ibadan, Oyo State. The two stores that we have there in Ibadan was Leventis store and UTC. And UTC belongs to UAC. Leventis store belongs to Leventis, and it was a big deal. If you are not rich, you can't go there.
Yeah.
You understand? And it's so funny now that you can see the way all the stores are springing up now. We have Gender, we have Just Right, we have Blenco, we have, that's how we evolve. That's innovation. When you go into a market, you see Dangote, we have in cement, we have Dangote, we have Bois, we have Lafarge. Now, Chinese are coming into the industry. The stakeholders are still there, they are respected. But believe me, the Chinese will break the market. They will want to sell for 12,000 cement per bag, 12,000. Yeah. They want to sell for like 9,000.
Yeah.
It's revolutionized the market. Dangote will not go out because they have the market. Bois will not go out. That's the same way. These our traditional meat seller, they already have their customers. And they won't go into extinction in one day. They would pick their meat from abattoir, they will take it to their customer, they will sell. We have our customers. But you see, out of their customers, because of more exposure, we now have 70-year-old man, 70-year-old woman buying from us. Do you understand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Now, they are still in the business. We are also in the business.
Yes.
We have our market. It's just like Ocean Strategy.
Yeah.
But believe me, our market, we are also taking from their market.
Yeah, absolutely.
You understand?
Just building on that.
Yes. And it will get to a point in the next 5-10 years, it will be hard for you to hawk meat on the roadside. We are getting there. We are getting there. The training now, they are learning from us. Now you see them, they are wearing gloves. They are covering their meat properly, even though they are hawking it.
Yeah.
Before, they will just put wood. The meat will be on top. You see flies. All these are changing now. Because of people like Agbeke The Meat Seller and those that started this innovation before us. Yeah.
Interesting. All right, my guest has been Mr. Timothy Ayeni, and we have been talking about Agbeke, the meat seller,
the meat seller,
and a lot of things going around this conversation. And when we come after the break now, because we are going on a break, we try to look at how you have been running the business with your wife, because the Bible says, "Who finds a wife
has found a good thing."
So we go to that.
Favor from God.
Yeah, absolutely. So after the break, we look more into this conversation. Go nowhere. This is Market Innoventors. Welcome back. It is still your number one innovative show, Market Innoventors, where we sit with entrepreneurs and business leaders who share insights with us. And today has not been so different because I'm joined by the Group Managing Director of Agbeke Foodstock Limited, and in the person of Mr. Babashola Timothy Ayeni. So thank you for being on the show with us today.
Thank you very much. It's been a great time.
Yeah, amazing. Because at first, how do you feel? You getting to read your profile yourself on the screen?
Well, it's amazing because you're doing something good and you're getting it right.
Absolutely. So before the break, we promised our viewers something, and we said we are going to look at how the journey has been. You founding this business with your wife, Mrs. Aminat Ayeni, who is the Chief Executive Officer. So why did you decide to journey with her on this path? Because it is business.
Yes.
Sometimes we have the rough times, we have when things are not so sweet as it's
definitely.
So why did you choose her? Is it because she's a better manager, or what really inspired her to be in this chain of business?
Well, like you said before we went for the break, you said him that finds a wife has found a good thing and obtains favor from God. I would like to add to that man is the only person, the only creation that God said this man needs a helpmate, he needs a helper, So the journey of Agbeke Foodstock Limited was a process, was an idea that moved into conception between my wife and myself, and that name Agbeke is actually my wife's name.
Oh, because I was going to ask, thank you, because I was going to ask, like, what really bettered that name?
We're looking for a very, very good selling name, like a creative name that when people hear it, they want to look at it again. And we're coming up with so many ideas, and I was like, babe, why don't we just say Agbeke The Meat Seller? And everybody in that brainstorming fell in love with the name. I said, so Agbeke The Meat Seller it is.
So how has it been journeying with her?
Well, it's been a good journey. It's been a learning journey because I've been into the business world. She is just starting. She graduated, I think, 2019. So she's just coming up, and she looks up to me a lot. And the vision of Agbeke Foodstock Limited, it's for us to become a conglomerate. So. And I still run my business where I'm still the chief executive officer. So I want her to learn. I want her to be able to know how business is grown. So, okay, babe, be the chief executive officer while I will be the group managing director. So as we are growing, you stick to that position while as the group managing director, we keep growing together.
Definitely. I love when men support their wives and when it goes both ways.
A strong man would always empower his woman.
Interesting. So you've heard a strong man will always empower his woman, because once that is done, every other thing is settled.
It's to your advantage.
All right. So you are a leader in your company. So what leadership qualities do you possess that enable you to do things in such a distinct way and a very unique way?
Well, I would say I'm a catalyst. I'm a charismatic leader. You don't just follow me because of what I say. You follow me because of what you see me do day in, day out. And I've been in the business of training people, young men. Even in our company, 90% of our staff, they are maybe from 22 upward, because I believe in empowering the youth, because that's one of the ways we can change this nation, give them the right perspective, make sure they understand what value is, because not everything that glitters is gold. You know, so and to teach them the good in hard work, you know, the benefit of hard work. You don't cut corners, you know. So it's that's me. I'm an innovative leader. You know, if you're under my tutelage, you have to be innovative, you have to be resourceful, you have to be creative, because I don't see a problem, I see an opportunity to make impact. You know, so I'm results oriented, you know, and I have a very, very creative mindset, you know, which is my main strength. Except I don't want to do something. If I want to do something, I get it done. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Now let's look at the case of inflation. You run a business, and we know the way the economy
Yeah,
has
it
been
has
in
been,
recent times, and also we have inflation, we have high energy costs, logistics,
logistic,
foreign exchange rates, all of these pressures, and it affects businesses
definitely.
generally. So, how have these factors, these realities, influenced your operations expansion and your profit margins?
Yeah, it's, you know, inflation is really, really affecting all the businesses, you know, in the nation. But the people that is most affected by inflations are the consumers. Are the consumers, you know, and like you rightly said, the high cost of energy. Um, in the past, to bring a cow from the north to Lagos used to be like from 20,000, it keep rising to like 45. At the point, it was stable at 45,000 to bring just one cow, you know. And now, to bring a cow from the north, if you're not a good negotiator, they will tell you to bring a cow from the north is like 130,000,
Wow.
140.
Wow.
If you're a good negotiator, at least like someone like me, I can still pay like 95, 100. You know, and those money, you know, the rise in diesel, the price, all these things, when when they bring the livestock, they had it to the cost, right?
Definitely.
And other expenses as well. I would go to the market. I would go and buy a livestock, which in the past we used to buy for 1.4, 1.5. Now a fully mature bull is going for like 2.4, 2.5. And there's no way, except you want to close up, that you won't change price. So that's why I said the ones most affected are the consumers, and we all must eat. But through innovation, we still find a way whereby we can still balance it. You know, for example, in the market at the moment, a price of a kilogram of boneless beef is some are selling 9,000, some are selling 9,500, some are selling 10,000, but we are still selling for 8,750.
Wow.
Yeah, and we are selling our own agimawo for 8,500. Agimawo is that meat that comes with beef and cow skin, you know. So we keep digging deep to find a way whereby we can still be ahead of the market, to still be competitive, and still as well get profit. You know.
Wow. Okay, before I allow you go on the show
All right.
today, so let's also look at this, because looking at Nigeria's agriculture and food processing sector, which
Yes,
is
please.
a very, lucrative sector if you look at it,
It is.
and we still have a lot to really explore in that space. So where do you see the biggest, investment opportunities for entrepreneurs over the next 5 to 10 years?
Well, the number one factor is government. Our government. We should have that platform that would help entrepreneurs, foodpreneurs to grow. You know, we need to look at the whole chain need to look at the different processes, how the government can come in to make the environment to be more conducive for entrepreneurs, especially agripreneurs as well. People that want to, because all these things we are doing, everything, it boils down to us having food on our table. And any nation that is not particular on their agribusiness, on their food business, they're going to have a big problem. Because when starvation starts, so many things will keep coming to mind. But when even when you have, you can have access to good quality meals, and that is, it might not be cheap but affordable. If you have it in your belly, even your mind will focus on what you are doing. You'll be able to do more. So government should please give us a conducive environment. And most people think agriculture is a tedious business and all. No. Yes, there's no business that's not tedious. It is. But now we have so many mechanized way we can do things. As in, even if not the north, let us focus, let people invest in agriculture. That is the way we used to be in the early 60s. There were a lot of investment in agriculture, and the country was good. That was even before they discovered crude oil. And if agriculture can sustain us, then that we're even importing seeds to nations like Malaysia and all, Singapore. If agriculture can sustain us then, I believe it can sustain us now.
Definitely. All right, this has really been an explosive discussion
much,
today. And I'm quite sure people who are interested in agriculture and food processing business, they've learned a whole lot.
Yes.
But let's get to the soft part of the show before I allow you to go. So I'll be asking you just one or two questions so that, this is what we normally do to our guests. So I believe you're also ready for this.
All right.
Nothing so serious anyway. All right, so let's look at it. So what is one quote or principle or belief generally that's guided you throughout your entrepreneurial journey? What is that one quote?
I would quote Johnson Maxwell. Yeah.
A great man.
Yeah, Johnson Maxwell. Everything rise and fall on leadership.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, so everything rises and fall on leadership and all that. So, and in one sentence, what is your quick win advice for young Nigerians who want to build sustainable business, not just in agriculture and food processing, but generally? Because people can learn
industries,
one or two. Even it might be so fun that somebody watching now who is interested in the entertainment sector might pick one or two things from you.
It's the same principle.
Yeah. So what is just that one quick word of advice for them?
I would start by saying, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Yeah, never stop learning.
Never stop learning.
Yeah, I'm still learning, and I'm doing self-learning on artificial intelligence, because I want to keep growing. So don't quit, never stop learning, keep daring, and don't believe in the impossible. There's nothing called impossible. It is only impossible until it is done, and you are the one that will do it. So don't look at the government, don't look at the situation of things. It's going to get better. God is up there. And if you are here in this nation at this time, then God has a plan for you, and you are the ones we are waiting for. And I believe in the next 5-10 years, you will be where you are. You will liberate your own community the way we are doing ours. God bless you. Keep dreaming.
Absolutely, I love that. So today we have Mr. Timothy Ayeni. Tomorrow it could be you. So we heard from him and just speak as you would always want to learn. So that is very important. So we have been speaking with Mr. Babashola Timothy Ayeni, the Group Managing Director of Agbeke Foodstock Limited and the visionary behind the consumer brand Agbeke The Meat Seller. So it's our prayers that whatever dream you have for this brand, it will be so and beyond that.
Amen.
All right, so his journey reminds us that innovation is not always about creating something entirely new, but sometimes it's all about improving everyday experiences,
Definitely.
building trust with consumers, and embracing technology, as well as delivering consistent value where it matters the most. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I am your host, Iremofe Koforola. Thank you for watching Market Innovators. Today, remember, every successful business begins by identifying a problem, but lasting impact comes from consistently providing solutions that improve people's lives. And do not forget to subscribe across all our social media platforms on Facebook, TikTok, X at Consumer Alert. You've just watched Market Innovators. Keep innovating.